When I found out Mum had aphasia, I said to Dad one morning, "Where's Mum?" Then he said she's had a stroke at the hospital. And like after a dancing practice that I had, I went to go see her, and I was pretty upset then.
I remember the first time I had to tell my friends why my mother always had her right arm up and why she walked with a funny limp, and they all thought, "Wow, my God, your mum had a stroke," but I've never really thought of it as a big deal.
The thing that changed Mum was when she had the stroke, I ended up telling all the grade 3s and 4s about it, and it actually made me pretty upset when I found out.
It was just essentially you lose your speech, I guess, and you have to, I think the way as a child that I thought of it was Mum has completely lost her whole ability to talk and she has to learn it again like a child, and that was sort of the simple way that I thought of it.
The way she talked to us back then. Of a morning she'd wake up and go hi possum or something like that, but now she just says yeah and everything.
Apparently when she first had the stroke she couldn't speak at all. She'd lost all her language facilities. And apparently, I don't remember, I used to go to some group sessions with her, like group speech sessions. Yeah, so I guess she has to have improved because she can speak almost perfectly now.
There were a lot of things that sort of, you think mothers would do, sort of, I guess just general conversations after school, asking, how was your day and things like that, and it was hard having conversations with my mum about things like that, and also, growing up being a teenage issues and things like that, so my auntie sort of stepped in, and so she's sort of, done the whole that side of things. But I guess as it did happen when I was 6, Mum is just Mum now, I'm used to it, and I don't remember Mum before she had aphasia and things like that. So, I don't know, I've sort of become accustomed to it, and I can't imagine what it would be like any other way.
In the case of my mother having getting very frustrated, usually I leave the room so that she can sort of calm down in her own time.
But it can be fun too because it's like playing charades, like when she air writes and everything.
When Mum air writes, we can't understand it, then we get it at the end.
Yeah, it's like charades.
Sometimes if, for example, she's trying to find a word, but she's just, I can't, what is it? I just add in extra words that she does, that's not what I mean, And, okay, I don't know what you mean, but yeah, it's fun doing that. Sometimes me giving her the words helps, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on what and when the word is being used and what context.
She had a lot of trouble even saying words to start with, and then I think it slowly, her vocab got better. Over time, and our close family, we don't notice the extreme change that's happened, but for people who don't see Mum that often, they're always like, wow, you've improved so much, but because we're always around her, we don't really notice.
It can be pretty annoying because you could be doing something, like 2 things at once, and you have to help Mum because she has to get out of her chair or something.
She sometimes has trouble finding words, like the word she wants in her vocabulary, and that's why she often gets a bit emotional and frustrated.
Most of Mum's work that she did with speech pathologists was whilst I was still a kid, so I guess the main basic building blocks of Mum regaining her speech was done before I was able to do anything. But I guess the main things is just actually sitting down with Mum and trying to have a conversation with her and getting to it, because she gets really stuck on words sometimes and they're hard to get out. So I guess the main thing is sitting there being patient, and she will get it eventually, so you just sort of have to be patient with her, and I think by doing that it gains her confidence as well, which means that she's willing to try it again.
Sometimes talking to someone, I sometimes talk to my school counsellor. Yeah, that sometimes helps if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed.
And I remember when Mum came out of rehab, she had the books to practice writing and also reading, and also pictures with words underneath them, what they were, to help her practice and say, well, that's milk, and have the picture next to it to help her.
Yeah, speech is getting like better. Walking's better, walking down the ramp, and upstairs it's swimming.
I didn't really understand until I studied psychology that what actually had occurred, and so I think that was frustrating and almost made me angry in a sense that I didn't quite have the knowledge of why. So once I studied that, it obviously helped, and so I actually understood what was going on.
Her pronunciation isn't really good, but we can still understand.
Growing up as a teenager, you start being rebellious and whatever, and I think some of the things, it became frustrating to me in a way because all my friends have normal relationships with their mum, or we went and did this, or I'll speak to mum about this, and it becomes really frustrating sometimes. And then in hindsight, I feel really guilty about feeling frustrated about it because mum's the one that has to deal with it, and I should be supportive and everything. But I guess it becomes really frustrating, but you just sort of have to take a step back and look at the overall situation rather than just that one thing, because sometimes mum can't give you an outright answer, so you just that's fine, that's all she can do, so that's fine.
Even though it might not, if she might not like really get better physically, but it can probably get better.
If it had happened when I was a bit older and it sort of changed my upbringing, I guess, I think it probably would have benefited me because I would have been able to relate to other kids. But as I said, I was 6, so sort of it's very hard to remember anything before that. I think I have one specific memory of mum before she had aphasia, and that's it. So as hard as it is for you, it's a lot harder for them, so you just have to be patient and try to be understanding of the situation up there.
For more information about aphasia and local support groups, contact the Australian Aphasia Association. Their website is www.aphasia.org.au